Hi guys, it's Jen here and welcome to Jen's Wild About Art. So today I'm doing another coloured pencil drawing, and today I'm doing a face portrait of a lion. So I go over it with quite a few different layers. So right at the second I've drawn in the basic shape of the lion's face, and now I'm adding eye colour and some detail around his eyes. So I've gone in with the yellow, and now I'm adding the black and running it right around the edges, and I'm leaving the white of his eyes. So now I'm touching up his eyes with solvent just to blend them. And I'm going over the white areas on his face with an off-white. And I just take that everywhere that's going to be white. And then I go over with an ochre yellow, and I take that around the edge of his nose and under his eyes, and I'll darken this up later in further layers, but for now I'm just filling in the golden highlights. So take that right round, and now I'm adding a more browny colour and taking that around the darker parts of his fur, around his face. Just getting a basic sort of idea for the colour tones in his face. And now I take this colour around the edge of his mane. So I'm experimenting today with layers. I haven't done a lot, so I'm still learning pencil myself. So I'm having an experiment, and I've sort of chatted here and there on YouTube to a few other artists, and yeah, they've recommended trying layers and things like that. So I'm having a go today. So it should be lots of fun. We'll just see what happens. So now I'm going in with a very, very dark brown. Okay, so now I'm adding an orangey brown just around the rest of the fur on his face. And I'm mixing it up with a bit of grey because he's got grey through, and as you see the pencils will sort of chop and change. So I'm going orangey brown, grey, white, orangey brown, grey, white, and mixing up the colours because his face is actually mottled colours. Sort of a goldy browny sort of colour. So I'm mixing it up with a light grey, orangey brown, and taking that all over the areas on his face. And I run it round the edge of his nose, onto his chin. And then I take that all around the edges. As you can see, I'm still mixing the colours, sort of orangey brown and white and grey. Just a very light grey. So now I'm going back in with a little bit of the very dark brown and the black just into the trim on his face, his eyes and his mouth and his nose. So now I'm starting on the mane. So I'm going in with the middle sort of tone brown and an orangey brown because his mane's actually quite red. So, which was a surprise in the picture. As I started looking deeply into the colours, I really noticed it had quite a lot of red through it. So I'm going in with a reddy brown, an orangey brown, and a brown. And I'm mixing it up because he's, it's all the fur's different colours. It's sort of highlighted in different spots. So I'm just mixing it up. It's not exactly like the photo. I uploaded the photo off Unsplash. It's a free photograph site. So I'm just sort of going with it by eye and seeing what I think looks right. So I initially just take my time and go around, try and keep the mane looking as even as possible. And as you can see, I'm sort of doing it in thirds, in sections. So now when I finish 1/3, I move on to the next bit and mixing up the colours. So I'm alternating between 3 different pencils for his mane. As you can see, the orangey and brown, the brown. Then I take that down this part of his mane and fill that in. And I'm sort of rubbing out the pencil marks as I go. So just getting rid of those so that the grey lead pencil, so it's not in the picture anymore. I mean, I go over it in spots. As you can see there, I just did that. So yeah, in spots, I'm just leaving it because I just go over it with the darker pencil anyhow. But anywhere that I think it's going to be visible, I rub it out as I go along. And then I've done just about half of it, and I just follow the same sequence on the opposite side of his mane as well. Now I'll take that mane out because I'll just sort of replicate the first side. Take that in. And I'll just model that up. Keep alternating my pencils, as you can see. And I'll go over this with a bit of solvent at the end, and I'll smooth it right out. Solvent's a wonderful thing, so it sort of smooths everything out, and then it evaporates, and you can go over again with another layer of pencil. So I'm using this on watercolour paper. I'm using my hot press watercolour paper, and it's really effective. I just love smooth papers. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just taking this now, mixing the orange, the brown, and the brownie orange, the full distance, a full circle around his head. Now he's got his complete mane. I'll pop a bit of orangey brown, a bit stronger around the edges, around his face edge. Take that all the way around. And then I brownie up over the top of his nose just a tad. And continue on. Anywhere I think that needs to soften up the colour, I'll get rid of that yellowy colour. I will brown that off a bit more. So now I'm going in with a darker brown around his mane because he's got shadowy bits and quite dark fur. So this is about layer number 3. Take that round his beardy bit, round his nose. Now pop his whisker dots in, the bit on his, pop a bit of white around his eyes and the edge of his nose. And now I'm running around with my Langridge solvents, and that smooths all of that out again for me. As you can see, it's really effective. You can see how it smooths things out and just evens up the tones. It's wonderful stuff. Awesome fun to do. And I love how it makes the pencil look painterly. It's just awesome, 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 awesome fun. So this picture took me a good 2.5 hours, I think. So, and it's only a small one. It's probably the size of my hand. So now I'm going in and just blending a little bit more. I'm adding a little bit more brown over the golden bits and a little bit of red and pink to his nose. He had quite a red patch on his nose. And then I'm going over that lightly with the black just to disappear it a bit. And now I'm adding a bit of the darkest brown and a bit of black around the trim on his mane just to give it a bit more depth. And adding that right through everywhere. And I'm going in with my Posca pen because my pencil wasn't opaque enough to go over the top of all of this. So I'm just adding his whiskers in and his finishing touches. And just a little bit of white around his eyes. And just soften all the rest of it up. A bit more red through his mane. Already brown. Take that right through everywhere. Anyway, we're just about done. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I had an absolute ball drawing this line, and I'm loving learning pencil techniques. Anyway, I look forward to sharing my next video with you all. I'd love it if you click like and subscribe, so I'll see you then. Anyway, have an awesome day. Okie doke. Bye.